Okay, Will, I don't know if you heard about this one. Google putting an end to ad blocking. This is funny because it came up on the show multiple times. You go to a website, we're trying to do the show where we flip back and forth and cut to Will's screen, and many times ads have been problematic in the experience of us doing that in a smooth fashion. And then he had an ad blocker, and then you guys were like, why is he running an ad blocker? Your show relies on ads. And it's a great point. We use it for the purpose of this broadcast to try to have a streamline, because you've been on the internet. You know what the average ad load of a website is, and it can be bananas. I mean, it can really overwhelm the entire site experience. And it's just gotten a bit out of hand. And so people gravitate towards these ad blockers, understandably. And for the most part, up until now, Google's been okay with it. They've been okay with these blockers in the form of browser plugins, browser extensions on Chrome. Now they're backing away from it. And there's speculation as to why. But many people can't resist the idea that, hey, Google's an ad company. Why are they going to make it easier for you to skip ads? They're not just delivering ads in places like YouTube. A lot of the ad experiences you're having elsewhere on the web are baked into Google's AdSense product. So they're all over the place. Now, they're going to make a change that's going to affect everyone except their enterprise customers. And the short explanation is that Google plans to eliminate the ability to block ads before the browser loads them, which is the most common form of ad blocking extension. They use it. They operate in that fashion. There are, of course, other browsers. There's other ways around this, but I thought it would be an interesting jumping off point to talk about the concept in general. Now, I wish advertising was elegant. I mean, that would be great if it was subtle and elegant. If you could land on a web page and there's a single ad over on the right-hand side, I don't know that many people would be gravitating towards installing some sort of third-party extension. They might just live with it. But when you get blasted with the 100 ads, then that's when you start looking. So that's the first part of the conversation. Now, recently, there have emerged new options for interacting with the content you like, because I think it's important for us all to get this out of the way. If you want good stuff on the internet, somebody's got to pay for it. Like, it's at some point, it has to be subsidized by something. And if you don't want to spend actual money on it, then the thing that you're exchanging, that you're trading in, is your attention. So you see the ad, you get the thing for free, well, in exchange for your attention, and you get to move on with your life. So doing neither was always kind of a weird solution, right? Here you're on this website, you really like what you're reading, or maybe you're on YouTube, you really like what you're watching, but you feel like not only should you get it, but you also shouldn't look at ads. I mean, I'm a YouTube user, just like I'm a YouTube content creator. And so for me, that wasn't really plausible. It didn't make sense in my head. I'm like, man, if I want to see more of this content, there has to be some sort of transaction that takes place at some point, whether through the form of ads or some sort of payment. And so YouTube or Google through YouTube started to offer up this premium product, which I jumped on immediately. And I don't know if I've promoted it to you guys, probably not, but like, it's a really simple product. It gives you ad-free YouTube and YouTube Music, access to YouTube Originals, and YouTube Music Premium, which includes offline as well. Background play and offline. You can download videos. And yeah, it costs money, but you get YouTube Music, which is kind of like a Spotify. And it's a similar price, but you get all that other stuff as a bonus. Plus, I can tell you from being a content creator, the content creator gets a percentage of your overall subscription fee as a means for support for the content that you're watching here on the platform. So here is an example of an alternative model which allows you to skip out on ads, but still participate in the transaction that needs to take place for content to remain the way that you want to watch it. See, because the thing is, if everybody just goes out and says, I don't want to do either, I'm just going to turn on the ad blocker, or I'm no longer going to use Chrome, I'm just going to go use some other browser that lets me continue to use my ad blocker. Well, you could, presumably content at some point suffers, or content creators end up having to bake more advertising into the content itself, which, again, not always the most elegant approach. Some do a better job than others of doing so. So anyhow, it's kind of a controversial topic. I'm trying my best to speak from both point of views, the point of view of the user and the point of view of the content creator. I just think that you can't have it all. You know, at some point, you gotta just do the math mentally and recognize that on some level, if you want the thing that you enjoy to keep happening, there has to be some kind of exchange. So feel free to do as you please. Maybe if there's a particular website that is egregious in your estimation as to how they treat advertising, maybe block that site and then free up some others where you feel like you want to contribute through viewing ads or whatnot. But I even see the limitation in that. That gets troublesome too, because now it's like, let's say each website comes up with a YouTube premium, a website premium. And now what do you have? You have all these $10 subscriptions. I mean, it's bananas. It gets crazy. I don't think anyone's prepared for it. I think the ad subsidized web is the majority of the web. And it makes the most sense operationally for most users. So there has to be a middle ground found. I don't know what you guys think that it is. I know when I get the option, if it's a place that I frequent or content that I frequently engage with, if I do get the option to just pay a couple dollars to remove the advertising, that's the way I do it. But I also can completely appreciate if that's not a possibility for you as well. And you want to watch an ad to support, it's the same difference. It keeps the shop doors open, as Ryan likes to say. So, but anyway, Google's going to make it harder, at least through Chrome. I think a lot of people are just going to switch browsers, but I don't know that necessarily solves the problem long term.